Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request. This time for Phil. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in info box. It could be review, topic, video game related, re-review, reaction, commentary, what have you. And this is for the film Rules of Engagement, which is a William Friedkin film. And it's one of those movies that people kind of forget about, in a way, because even when people talk about William Friedkin's filmography, they go, oh yeah, he did do this one. Which, some people say was a minor box office hit. Although you look at the budget and the box office, it seems either even or less so, but I think even William Friedkin himself said was a hit or minor hit. Either way, it stars Tommy Lee Jones, who William Friedkin would work together, both of them, on The Hunted, which I love, in 2003. And then you have Samuel L. Jackson. Pretty much the story is that Tommy Lee Jones and Sam Jackson, they go back quite a ways, back to Vietnam, where they're in the same unit, they split apart, Tommy's group is attacked, Sam's group get these Vietnamese. They find the radio operator and they go, listen, either you call it off or I kill your buddy. Sam kills a buddy and says, I'll kill you too unless you call it off. He does so and thus saves Tommy's life. Then we go to present day, where Tommy Lee Jones was a lawyer. He was with the JAG unit. He's close to retiring. He's still friends with Sam. Meanwhile, Sam is still leading missions. The newest one is to go to Yemen and to get the ambassador, played by Ben Kingsley, who's in the film Species, Gandhi, many others. Him, his wife, and his kid out of there. His wife, I believe, is played by Ann Archer. But I'm bad with names. And they're under heavy fire, sniper fire. Sam is calm. He's getting the family out. Even helps the kid who's scared to get out. They're being fired under. One of his men is Blair Underwood. He's an actor. There's been a lot of stuff. He was in this film I reviewed recently, Malibu's Most Wanted. He's been in a lot of stuff. Good actor. And there's such an under fire, and 2 or 3 of his men have been shot, killed, and we as an audience are not supposed to know, is it the snipers, or are there actual firearms in the crowd? Open fire on those motherfuckers. And Sam Jackson, you know he had to get a motherfucker in there somewhere. Some way, some shape, some form. 9 times out of 10, if there's a movie, you don't say motherfucker in it. Even Kong Skull Island, he tried to say motherfucker, and Kong stopped him. But they fire into the crowd. They leave. Now it's this big public nightmare where all these people, men, women, and children, were killed, and the world is looking to us. So we need to make some type of we need to make someone pay. Sam Jackson gets the short end of the shit stick. He's on trial for murder. So the only person he wants is Tommy Lee Jones. And even Tommy says you should get yourself a better lawyer. But ultimately Sam goes, hey, you owe me. I saved your life. You're the only one I trust. And so then Tommy Lee tries to build a case and try to figure out what happened. Now, the film itself, I thought it's okay because of the performances. I'm a big Tommy Lee Jones. He's done a lot of stuff, and I've never really seen him give. Well, Batman Forever is a bit wanty of a performance, but Volcano, Men in Black films, The Hunted, he's usually really good in what I see him in. The Fugitive, U.S. Marshals, this movie. He's very capable because he could be tough and tense, but he could do subtle fairly well. Like there's this politician. Well, I don't want to say politician, but might as well be this higher up, played by I believe his name is Bruce Greenwood. You get the idea that he hid a tape that's essential evidence, destroyed it, burned it, but you can't prove it. I love when Tommy Lee Jones goes, "You ever dealt with a pissed off Marine? Is that a threat?" "Oh yes, sir." And you believe it. When Tommy Lee Jones says that, you believe it, and you should be watching yourself. Watch yourself in the shower. Watch yourself in the bathroom. Watch yourself while you're walking down the street. The Tommy Lee Jones coming for you. Go tit your ass. Seabass, go tit your ass. It's Tommy Lee Jones. You gotta buy into it. You gotta believe it. And Samuel Jackson does a good job too. He shows some nice emotional sequences where, if they took my uniform, I might as well be dead. There's even a fun little fight that him and Tommy Lee Jones get into, because there's a point where Tommy Lee Jones goes to Yemen and he can't find any evidence to support Sam's case. Instead, he finds wounded women, wounded children, and they're fighting. But as friends, they fight, then they start laughing, and then even Tommy Lee Jones goes, "We're screwed. We're not going to win this case." Other recognizable people, Guy Pearce is the opposing lawyer. It's one of those films where when you're doing a courtroom drama, courtroom engagement, it can be a fairly tough endeavor. Because at the end of the day, it's still either an investigation or you're in this one courtroom and you gotta really make it work. And there are better ones, whether it be And Justice for All with Al Pacino, whether it be A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise, whether it be, this is a different case, but 12 Angry Men, which William Friedkin actually directed the remake, and I quite enjoy that. I'd probably say I like that more than this. It's okay because of the performances, but I can't say I was fully engaged. I think, number one, I never questioned that what Sam did was the wrong thing, because the way they portray his character, the way they portray how he's so calm, it just the way he portrays it. Yeah, he has some outbursts here and there, but I never believed that he just willy-nilly shot unarmed civilians. And the way they're getting shot at, it could be snipers, but there's also, it just seemed like there's a hell lot more firepower. There probably were people in the crowd. And of course, later on, spoiler, you find out, yes, there were people in the crowd, including the little girl who's wounded. She pulls out her gun, which almost made me laugh, I will say. I don't know why. I'm like, shit, she's like 4 years old. She got a gun. I'm like, the baby's going to have a gun. She's sucking on a gun instead of a pacifier. This baby don't pull one of those little guns out of her tush. This baby's in the crib and pulls out a 44 Magnum. But it does showcase there's a lot of fucking people shooting, and that's what Sam did. Does he have to make it, even though it may seem ridiculous at times? Sadly, there are times that has happened. There are places in the world, hell, even the U.S., that a group of people would let a little kid, make a little kid, shoot with guns, and you can't do it because how dare you? It's morally immoral to do so. But at the same time, when they're all shooting you, all trying to kill you, when the goal is to kill Americans, you could sing some Sunshine and Rainbows and die, or shoot and stay alive and save your men. And that's one thing I disagree with the critics. The, oh, it's so racist. There's nothing racist about the fucking movie. Okay? Sorry if the truth hurts. And here's the thing. I'm not saying every single person in Yemen or Israel or take your pick. Afghanistan, China, Korea, or North Dakota, or Boise, Idaho. Not saying every single person there's a prick. But there could be potentially a lot of pricks that ruin it for the rest of the people. Not that there's anyone in Idaho and North Dakota, South Dakota, whatever the fuck I said. But what I'm getting at is, for example, in Yemen, if you're homosexual, you need to get 100 lashes and at least a year in jail if they find out you're a single guy who's gay. If you're married, I guess you wanted to experiment, maybe have a threesome with a guy, whatever. Okay, your wife want to experiment or whatever, you die. If they find out you're married, you're gay, you die. They just cut your fucking head off. That's why, I mean, this is a side note, but there was this recent thing about these stupid people on TikTok. They read these letters of America from what? B to the I to the N to the Latin. Not Aladdin. You know, with the 9 to the 1 to the 1 in September 2001. Letters of America that said, why we attacked America and fuck you, America. And these people on TikTok in the US are going, oh man, this changed my perspective so much. I'm saying they're going, you're the type of person they were, a lot of the people there, not all. That's the thing, it's not all. But there is a good chunk of people that will kill you because you dress funny or you are the guy that sets the dick or the girl that sets the clit. They're going to kill you. If you don't believe me, go there, find out. I will rent you the coffin. I say rent because I want the fucking money back. I rent. But I know I'm going off tangent. Because the film itself is kind of a typical investigation where not a lot is found because the witnesses don't want to talk. Either Ann Archer doesn't want to. Spoilers. This is a spoiler. Ben Kingsley lies. He wants to save his ass from being a coward. Ann Archer doesn't talk because she supports her husband. There's really no other witnesses in Yemen that will testify. There's really no action sequences in between. Excursions, little thriller where he got to protect the witness, or we need to get rid of this person because we need to go forward with making this guy guilty, or the rest of the world's going to be angry with us. There's really nothing else going on within the plot, within the story, that was engaging to me. And again, I never really thought Sam Jackson would be guilty, so I never had those doubts. I never had that question mark. What if he was wrong? What if he did the wrong thing? Because again, there was so much firepower going on, because I just never had any doubts on it. So then the only question is, will he be found guilty? Will he be found not guilty? And when there's like all this non-witnesses, non-evidence against him, it's like, man, it's going to take some pretty, probably sappy speech, which it does. Although Tommy Lee Jones gives it fairly well, so it's not too sappy. Just by the third act, it's pretty much Guy Pearce questions Sam Jackson, and Sam loses his temper. Then they bring up the Vietnamese guy from before, and then Tommy Lee Jones says, listen, if it was flipped, would you have done the same thing? And it's funny, I mean, people want to call the film racist, but they made the Vietnamese guy more honest than fucking Ben Kingsley or the Bruce, was it Bruce Greenwood, the upper echelon guy who destroyed the tape. Think about it. Bruce Greenwood, who is white, American, is the most dishonest person in the movie, and the Vietnamese guy really is the most honest person in the movie. But yet this film is racist. I mean, do people just close their eyes whenever they feel like it? They pick and choose? I'm like, damn, this Vietnamese guy was honest. Not only was he honest, but then last time I say spoilers, when Sam gets off freely, the Vietnamese guy salutes him. And then Sam salutes him back. I'm like, wow, this Vietnamese guy, he's a guy we should all be. He was on the other side. He learned to, I guess, deal with America, forgive and forget. That other guy might have been his buddy, his pal, his butt buddy, I don't know. Shot in front of him. Hey, Sam kept to his word, let me go, was alive. I was honest in court, and I salute the guy. That Vietnamese guy is a class act. And yet the film is racist. Give me a break. If you want to see the film, I wish it would have been a bit more, I don't know if original is the right way, but maybe a bit more twists and turns of the plot, or maybe try to twist it a bit more on doubt. Or maybe it's a script thing. Maybe in casting Sam Jackson, maybe that was the thing. I mean, he's played bad guys, Con Skull Island, among others, but just, in this case, I just never doubted that there's a reason he did what he did. And like I said, because there's no other witnesses, there's really no other side plots, and the few there are, they're kind of dropped fairly quickly. Like, it seems like there's this bit where Tommy Lee Jones has a kid, and the kid's like, why you defend this guy? He brings shame to our country. And even the Tommy Lee Jones' father, which I recognize the guy, he was Chris Tucker's boss in the first Rush Hour movie. Forget the actor's name. He plays Tommy's father. He's having like, oh, you shouldn't do this, and he brings disgrace to our country. And Tommy Lee Jones says, hey, this guy saved my life, I'm doing it. But then you never see them again until the very end, where they pop up and they see the big speech and they go, I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of you, Dad. I'm like, that's all it took? I mean, it was a pretty good speech, but like there was no other, oh, Tommy Lee Jones is going to connect with his son and they're going to have a bond as they go through, as the son helps him out. Like, you know, I may not believe him, the Sam guy. I may not believe him, but I believe in you, Dad. And I will admit, without him, you wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be born. So I'm doing this for you, not for him. And then maybe they bond. Like, there's nothing of that going on. There's nothing really else going on with the story. And it's a fairly lengthy film. It's not a short movie. It's a little over 2 hours. So at times it feels like it drags a bit. And you just say a bit predictable too. So then you get to the ending, and the courtroom scenes, they're kind of just there. There's no memorable lines of dialogue like, I want the truth, you can't handle the truth. Or, you're out of order, that son of a bitch is out of order. Like in Al Pacino's and Justice for All. So it's just, the performances help making it a watchable movie. I do not think it's a bad film. It's just not that thrilling or engaging of a movie. Because of the type of film, you're not going to get a lot of action scenes, of course. A few good minutes, it seemed like there's a little bit more interplay because you had Cameron Pollak and you had Demi Moore, then you had these other witnesses, and you had a little bit more of a mystery what was going on, what's with the code red. Here, there's not really that deep of a mystery. And maybe a subplot here and there would have worked to spice up things. But overall, again, Tommy Lee Jones just has his speech. He's like, the evidence I could have had this tape is just walked off, apparently. So no, I can't prove my client is innocent, but also without it, cannot prove without a shadow of a doubt that my client is guilty either. And that's really all he has to go on. That's all he has. And Tommy Lee Jones wins. I will admit, there's a bit of me that goes, would he have won? I mean, one, because it's a movie, but should he have won? I guess. But it's cool to see Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson together. They're two good actors. Always nice to see actors like Guy Pearce and such in there. Ben Kingsley. The few bits of action, like the opening Vietnam bit, there's some pretty hefty violence, especially when the Americans are shooting at the Viet Cong, and you see like big blood squibs, like big blasts of blood, which is interesting. When the Americans get shot, you don't really see a lot of blood. When the Viet Cong gets shot, you see a lot of blood. I'm like, hmm. Like you see a little bit. Okay, you see a little bit when Americans get shot, but not so much when. But you see a lot more when the Viet Cong get shot. I'll say that. So I don't know if that was done on purpose or that just how it was. So as is, I know I've been fumbling with this review. I apologize. Not too great of a review. It was a film that was okay. It's for free on YouTube. If you like the two actors, it's worth a watch. And, I mean, it's worth one watch as William Friedkin. May he rest in peace. It's just nothing I would ever own on physical media. It's nothing I would ever probably watch again. It was a one-time watch, but I say it's not as memorable as it could have been compared to other courtroom type of movies. It's okay. That's what I'm getting at. At the end of the day, it's an okay film. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.